What must be changed in Hanafi wudu and prayer for validity in the Shafi'i school? What must be changed in Hanafi wudu and prayer for validity in the Shafi'i school? Now, this is an unusual question because generally speaking, one is recommended to learn one madhab, practice that madhab, and then as we learn and grow, if we come across other views that we wish to adopt for whatever reason, then we learn accordingly. But learning several madhahib or even two simultaneously can be potentially confusing. So we'll go through a few points, inshallah ta'ala, to consider the essential differences. One essential difference, starting from purity, would be the tartib. That while the Hanafi wudu and the Shafi'i wudu practically resemble one another, there are some key differences. In the Shafi'i ablution, it is necessary to have an intention for the very least at the time of first washing the face, which is the first fard portion of limb that needs to be washed. So the intention needs to be there. Then another integral in the Shafi'i school, other than the intention, is the tartib, that it must be face, arms, head, feet. So the obligatory portions must be washed in sequence because this is a condition, or rather, this is an integral of the wudu in the Shafi'i school. So we have the niyyah and we have the tartib. Then also, it's important in the Shafi'i school to ensure that you wash the entire arm, even though this is also in the Hanafi school. But the Shafi'i school wants you to ensure that you wash till above the elbows and not just till the elbows. So you wash the entire arm till above the elbows. And then for the head, for the Shafi'i school, the minimum for wiping the head is to wipe at least one hair or at least part of one hair. That's the bare minimum of what is considered masah. Whereas for the Hanafi school, the bare minimum is to wipe at least a quarter of the head. So this is another difference that one needs to ensure for compliance with both schools. Another key difference is the way that wudu breaks. So in the Shafi'i school, wudu is broken by four things: anything exiting from the two private parts, front or rear, touching skin to skin with a non-mahram, even if there's no desire, and touching the private parts with the insides of the hands when the two hands touch, and loss of consciousness when the buttocks is not firmly planted on the ground. For the Hanafi school, there's some differences. Skin-to-skin contact with a non-mahram does not invalidate the wudu according to the Hanafi school. Touching the private part does not invalidate the wudu according to the Hanafi school. However, bleeding does invalidate the wudu according to the Hanafi school if the blood is over a certain amount. So in order to ensure validity across madhahib, once again, one would need to ensure that you are fully aware of the rules pertaining to what breaks the wudu in that. Now, it's important also to note that you don't need to comply to both schools in order to have a valid act of worship, but I would assume that the person is asking this question as a result of khuruj min al-khilaf. Khuruj min al-khilaf is mustahab. What is khuruj min al-khilaf and why is it recommended mustahab? Khuruj min al-khilaf is when scholars differ about a particular matter. So you have, say for example, two schools. One school says this act of witr is recommended, even especially recommended. Another school says no, it is necessary, it is wajib. Khuruj min al-khilaf is that you do not omit that act of worship, that witr, because according to one school that would be sinful and according to the other school it would not be sinful. So to escape that realm of difference, you do that which is compliant to both schools. So that's generally recommended unless it interferes with your practice of your own school and a few other conditions as well. Another difference in the prayer is that the Shafi'i school emphasizes the entire recitation of the Fatiha, including the Basmala. So saying Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim is considered one ayah of the ayat of the Fatiha, whereas in the Hanafi school, it is recommended to recite the entire Fatiha, but it is not a condition or an integral of the prayer as such. The prayer must consist of recitation of Quran, but not necessarily the entire Fatiha, as my understanding has it. Wallahu subhanahu wa ta'ala a'lam.
La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah.